You know we be with it, we off in the hood like some wizards. Nobody ever gave us anything. Meant something from nothing, just like magicians. Gotta relearn everything. Just to remember that I was forgetting. Just to remember that we had a vision. Did it all, don't know how I did it. Time to go start season to go and you know those crystal truths. Let them know we in here, yeah, we in the building. Start season to go and you know those crystal children. Back up in the matrix, yeah, we on the mission. Start season to go and you know those crystal children. Let them know we in here, yeah, we in the building. Start season to go and you know those crystal children. Back up in the matrix, yeah, we on the mission. Off on the mission, you know how it goes. Off in the system, they turn up their nose. They took all the soil, but they didn't know. Through the concrete, you see the roads. Eyes ain't open, don't mean I ain't woke. Ain't got no cash, don't mean that I'm broke.
Welcome. Question: what is the law? Answer: I am Ra. The law is one. Question: why are we here? I am Ra. We seek the law of one. Question: why do we seek Ra? Ra is an humble messenger of the law of one. Both together rejoice and purify the place in the law of one. Let us have no thought of form. Enter the circle of the law of one. The instruction is the law of one. Welcome. Hi, Marcus.
Hello, grand day, Sandee. And welcome everybody to another episode of Ascending Beyond Limitations. And, you know, as time goes on, I can feel the veil becoming lighter and lighter. And I can also feel the embodiment of light flowing through me more and more as we continue to embark upon this beautiful journey of the raw material, Law of One study. And for everybody out there, my name is Marcus Christolight, founder of Sacred Light Healing and Wellness, multifaceted, holistic, shamanic practitioner, as well as content creator, meditation guide, as well as some other beautiful things of service. And then we have our co-host, the wonderful Sandee Marshall out of Long Beach, California. And she is also a spiritual coach and guide as well, and also a deliverer of beautiful light language and much more. How are you today, Sandee?
I am good. I am blessed. I am excited. I'm so excited. I am excited. The divine pages to read to you, to share with you. You take what resonates, leave what doesn't. You know, one size just doesn't fit all. I guarantee you, though, when all of the message is for you, you will receive it. Your mind will be blown, and then it will expand. We're here to seek the law of one. We're here to have a physical form experience using formless beings to do it. That's right, to do it in. See, we're not just having a higher being do it in us. We're doing it in them. It's a mirror image. We're just showing them what the energy is or could be, and then they're mirroring it back to us and saying, okay, you see it? Do you still want this? Do we keep going? That's what free will is all about. Do we keep going? Or do we change it up? What is that song? Steer it up. Or I think it's stir it up. Either way, steer, stir. We're stirring it up. We're mixing up the primordial ooze. We're bringing it forth, and we're creating with it. We are. So we're here today to step in the unknown. And as soon as we stir it up, we make the known to us. We play with it a while. We mold it. We create it. We get to even smush it and say, done. What's next? And then the universe says, here. We go, oh, okay. Let's take it in. So let's get going. Are you ready? Let your energy just come forth. Wisdom and understanding is going to imbue it. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And let's just have some fun. Let's play.
Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe.
For everybody out there, episode 4, our last episode, we explored what we titled as I am the image of the creator. And a lot of our teachings, or a lot of the studying that we did in the last episode, was surrounding about how the creator moves off of intentional energy, moves off of mentalism, and manifests and duplicates and co-creates with us through these different aspects or techniques, as we call it in this human mind. And basically what we did was we connected how we are made in the image of the creator, according to biblical texts and many other different texts. And we related that to the teachings and the studies about the creator moving based off of intentional energy, as well as focus of energy, and how to manifest and bring forth. And with that, there's actually a real quick short clip I'd like to play from the last episode, just to refresh you guys a little bit on what it is that we spoke on. And then we can dive into our study for today.
The first known thing in the creation is infinity. The infinity is creation. The questioner says, from this infinity, then must come what we experience as creation. What was the next step or the next evolvement? Ra says, I am Ra. Infinity became aware. This was the next step. Ra says, then the questioner says, after this, what came next? You see, because the questioner is doing everything in a linear movement. It does not mean that Ra is saying that everything is linear. Ra is answering the question as the questionnaire asks, as such as not to usurp or go above or beyond free will.
Mm-hmm.
Ra says, I am Ra. Awareness led to the focus of energy. Focus is intention. Intention is your best tool. We have infinite possibilities of tools to use, but intention, or your focus plus your energy, creates.
That's right.
It does it whether you're conscious of it or not. The divine made sure so that you could always have a story, so that you can always experience, conscious or not, believing in it or not, you get to have the experience. So Ra says, awareness led to the focus of infinity into infinite energy. You have called this by various vibrational sound complexes, the most common to your ears being logos. Everything is a logos. The earth consciousness is a logos. The moon is a logos. The sun is a logos. Logos is beingness. Logos is becomingness. Logos can change. You can change it. Logos is just another label. Or logos can be called love. The divine.
So yeah, you guys can check that out. That was our last episode here on the Ascending Beyond Limitations podcast, episode 4. And you can check that out on the YouTube channel, Sacred Light Healing and Wellness in full. And I just wanted to kind of recap with us and give us that moment of reflection of the last episode and what we were speaking on when it came to intention and being in the image of the Creator.
I'm going to tell you, I'm sorry. My throat chakra just started. It started. We're going to let it flow. The reason why is because where the divine wanted me to start today, for anybody that has the book, it's on page 136. Ra explains the transition from third density to fourth density. And the divine wanted me to know that in the same way that we have the intention to create, so did the Creator. The Creator created with intention. The intention of the Creator was to seek itself in form. It knew itself in formless. The gloriousness of itself, it knew itself in formless. So with intention, it said, I want to know more of me. And it threw its intention out across the vastness of the deep or the dark. Of the firmament, which is consciousness of everything that is and is not. Firmament, we think is the midst of the water, and it can be. And it created more of itself. It seeked itself. It had the intention to know more about itself and decided it was going to be us. And then embodied the thought of us and the story of us and all its possibilities. So I want to read to you. The questioner says, how does third density planet become a fourth density planet? Right? Because here we are, we're in this third density. And of course, humans want to know more about what is or will be than what is now. There is a what is that is a what will be, and there is a now. Ra says, I am Ra. The fourth density is, as we have said, a regularized in its approach as a striking of a clock or an hour, as you call it. The space-time of your solar system has enabled this planetary sphere to spiral into space and time of a different vibrational configuration. In 2012, it is believed that Earth consciousness and her body shifted into fourth density. And guess what? We are so entangled with Earth consciousness that we were supposed to go with it. Doesn't mean that we were supposed to go to a specific place, but just consciously, we were supposed to shift and evolve into a fourth density consciousness. Amazing, right? All with exactly what Marcus has started our conversation off with: intention. Back to you, Marcus. Whoa. Whoa and whoa.
Intention.
Intentional. Intention.
Right. So basically, intention is kind of like, it's kind of like the word, so to say. So when you go into your biblical text and you speak on, God gave us the word game like creation, and in a way that word that they're speaking on is intention. Through the will, through the intention of God, birthed and duplicated creation. So this is a continuous pattern and cycle, and you can find this throughout really all of existence. You can look at many different aspects, many different categories and different ways of life, and you will see that even scientists, creators, alchemists, and beyond, what you'll find is that they are studying patterns. They are studying sacred geometry. They're studying formation on a level that you can see is nothing more than a continuous duplication and replication of how existence started and created. And you can see these patterns throughout everything in existence, especially the dualistic nature of creation. And when I say dualistic, I mean the dualistic as in the wholeness and the balanced duality, the duality of contrast being together, unified, not an illusion of separation. And with that being said, the more that you're able to become aware of these patterns, these geometries, you start to attune yourself more into the organic timeline, as well as the organic blueprint that the Creator has laid out for us. And the more that we become aware of that blueprint and study these patterns and codings, then we are able to use them within our power and replicate the Creator's abilities by replicating the organic patterns and the organic codings that the Creator has used since the beginning. And you'll find a lot of people that are creating and inventing hydrogen vehicles, free energy technologies, a lot of these other quote unquote advanced type of things that are going on are really nothing more than them studying and understanding the organic patterns and blueprint codes, and then utilizing it and replicating it in their own authentic way and intention. Huge example is, look at Terrence Howard on the Joe Rogan podcast. He literally goes on there and breaks down to you organic blueprint codes from the Creator of existence. And through these organic blueprint codes, he even demonstrates and shows you physically the type of creations that he's invented, and not only invented, but patented as well, through using the organic codings and pattern blueprint system of creation. So to really just like sum that up is the more that we can attune ourselves to the awareness of how our geometrical patterns and how these blueprint codes work when it comes to creation and how creation was formed and is continuing to expand, then we can, hop on that train or hop on to that movement of being able to not only experience and be a part of this ride and this journey, but you also step more into your own personal power of what you can do with this journey. And with that, you become more of an alchemist, you become more of a co-creator, and you're able to start edging your way through more of what it is that you would like to experience in your timelines here in this existence. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. All right. So, my son was or is visiting me, and he watched the end of a show that I was binge watching. It's called Sweet Tooth, and it was the 3rd season. And it pretty much went the same way it always did in the first 2 seasons, always about the government, always about, the world coming to an end or whatnot. Basically, the story is that humanity always took it too far. They wanted to exploit Earth and her life's blood. Well, as we know it, and this confirms, that trees are all linked together by their roots across the world. That's Mother Nature. That's Gaia. That's how she communicates. Is the roots of trees in the U.S. are connected to the roots of trees in the U.S. in Russia and all over the world. Well, this particular show. I was telling my son that the divine speaks in every method of every directional, every communication facet we have, including TV, including series, including mindless, what we consider mindless cartoons. The divine is always speaking some wisdom and understanding. Well, at the end of this series, because it concluded with the third, they had 3 chapters to it. So the 3rd chapter is the conclusion. Well, the beginning of it was that humanity was dying out, that mankind had chopped the tree and tried to use the tree's blood, Earth's blood, to manipulate selfishly. And Earth said, I have enough. You took my life's blood, and now the world must change. And I said, now we get to find out what the premise of. Because at first you think the premise is that it's government and big business and big pharma, and they're all doing the dirty. But here it is. It's the divine saying, I can change. Change is the only thing that I promised you, humanity, and here it is. So what happens is, when the blood was released from the tree, from the earth, all of humanity began to suffer, and they died. And they wanted to, but at the same time, there was a new race that was going to replenish the earth that was both human and animal. Babies started to be born half animal and half man or human. And they tried to figure out, us humans tried to figure out which came first, the chicken or the fucking egg. But that was the story right? So in the culmination of episode or season 3, you find out that humanity was about to have an evolutionary change. And of course, it wasn't what they expected because, hey, they weren't on top of the mountain anymore. They weren't on top of the food chain. Matter of fact, they were so not on top of the food chain that they were ready to pounce on each other to stay alive. Right? And at the end, at the very end, the hero of the story, this deer boy, he was half deer, half human boy, had to they believed that they had to sacrifice him. They believed that they had to do the Bible and put him on the sacrificial table and sacrifice him. And that's how they were going to heal the human race. But what happened was he gave of his own blood, gave it back to the roots of the tree. And guess what? He lit it on fire and alchemized it. And I looked and my son said, whoa, I didn't see that coming. I said, you didn't? Because fire is alchemizing. Fire is changing, transforming. And the tree welcomed the blood and the fire, and it still changed because guess what? Human beings died out, but they did not go away. They transformed into something else, something greater for the highest and greatest good of earth consciousness, of the divine. And that there, I watched that and I went, oh, that is so worth watching all of the series, all the, the first through the second. I had to fast forward through some stuff that didn't make any it's like, okay, I can move through that because all that is a bunch of violence. But, it was what I needed for right now. It's alchemizing yourself, even though you know things are going to change. And then you get to say in it, what is this change going to be for my greatest and highest good? How do I want it to affect me? How do I want it to cleanse me? Because that's all fire is. Fire is cleansing. We all know that. When forest fires happen, it chars the earth, but through the earth grows new. How is the fire going to alchemize us? Even Ra talks about this, about alchemizing, about changing, about not being so focused in the catalyst to fight against change, to be in the flow. Now, you can go watch this movie. It's called, I believe it's on Netflix. It's called Sweet Tooth. You can pick up wherever you want to pick up. You can watch the third season and just watch what I watch, or watch the whole thing. And then if you watch the whole thing, then you get how the divine is showing you growth and expansion. And if you need to watch the growth and expansion, it is in the character called Sweet Tooth. Because he is a representative of earth consciousness, form, and infinite possibilities, all rolled up into a new design of the creator. Now, is it going to be the actual real design? Maybe not, but it's an infinite possibility. To me, it was an infinite possibility. We take advantage of all of nature, and we believe that nature is not living. We believe that Earth is just a pile of dirt. We believe that we're in the center of nothingness, right? And here it is the culmination of something new, and this could be a possibility. Who knows where the writer got this information? Maybe this information came from a dimension that needed to be shared. Another dimensional space of earth consciousness. And it's trying to give us the wake-up call to respect the living planet that we live on. Right? It's, it doesn't mean that you have to go talk up and accuse people of this or whatnot and scare people have to shit, or whatnot, but be aware of it with you. Who are you going to be in the story? Doesn't mean you have to go off to some beach and try to clean up the whole beach all on your own, but who are you going to be in the story as things grow and expand? And then what we read before, take that and add that. If Earth consciousness is already moved from third density to fourth density in 2012, and then she shifted again to fifth density, where are you in that process? It doesn't mean you have to die to get to that next level. It means, have you shifted? Have you expanded? Are you seeing Earth consciousness and the form world through a different lens? Where are you? Have you been through the fire of alchemizing yourself and seeing things differently, or feeling them differently, or just going, I'm not judging myself anymore? That's moving from 3D, seeing 3D through fourth density or fifth density, where you're not judging yourself in third density form. You're still living in 3D, but you're living in it in a whole different lens of possibilities. Back to you, Marcus. Oh, yes. Back to you, Marcus.
Ooh.
Ooh. That felt good.
Ooh.
That felt good. Now, I had not planned to speak about sweet, but the divine said, speak on it, because you want to talk about it. And I'm like, okay. Thank you for pulling that up.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, if you guys ever want to check that out, it's called Sweet Tooth on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet personally, but it definitely does sound pretty intriguing. And maybe one day, if technology allows us, maybe we can watch an episode or something together on here.
It would be really nice. You just never know.
May pull a little surprise for all of y'all out there. And that is something that we have talked about and considered doing with all of you guys is, screen sharing some documentaries, some movies and things like that, and have conscious reflection and commentary throughout it. If you guys would be interested in something like that, let us know. Feel free to put it in the comments, either on YouTube or Instagram, that you'd be game and be for that, to do a documentary share or a movie share together. Be really cool to do. Yeah. And you guys would be able to do it here live on YouTube and Instagram with us. So I felt called for the first time during this season of our podcast here. I was called and drawn to pull a card for us from the Light Language Oracle. And the Light Language Oracle, for everybody out there, is by Chloe Metcalf. And she actually channels every single guide for these individual cards. And through her channeling, she then relays the message that she received from the guide specifically through each of these cards. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull a general card for us, see what type of guide and message comes through to complement our space and our study today. And welcome and thank you to all of you that are here tapping in. Thank you for all of you that participate, that are receiving, and continue to share your energy in these spaces. Very grateful and I love what we're doing. And let's continue to have good times, have fun, and also continue to be sharp and clear, anchoring and grounding in our divinity. Thank you to Nature Wolf for the YouTube comments every time. Appreciate the love. Appreciate all of you. Casey. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. So we have the card High Priestess NATO.
Ooh.
All right, so High Priestess NATO, I'm gonna go ahead and read out the book just to give us some context out of the channeled message that Chloe had received. Okay. High Priestess NATO, number 21.
Hold on a second.
Universal
Hey.
Healing. Planetary Grid and Starseed. Oh boy. So NATO is a starseed soul who specializes in overall planet healing. Her message tells of an energy shift occurring on the planet that affects the motions and behaviors of humanity. Well, look at that. If you said, I can't deal with the world right now, it's likely most of our friends and family are feeling the same way, and the energy changes are having a huge effect on you. On her home planet, NATO is a high priestess dedicated to the healing of her home. She is also responsible for an Australian sector of the Earth's energy healing. Her message is twofold. You are experiencing the effects of the planet's energy healing shifts, or you're responsible for helping the planet through its healing shift at this time. Listen to your soul and ask yourself which applies to you at this moment. Most importantly, NATO wishes to express her gratitude for your hard work experiencing the energy, as it is not an easy transition for any being, especially humanity. And that is our divine oracle message today in this space through the Light Language Oracle by Chloe Metcalf. And the card was High Priestess NATO.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Reminding us
Yes.
that we are here on this planet to be a part of the ascension process, as well as to uniquely, individually, on a soul level, have specific blueprints, specific codes, specific signatures that we are anchoring in and spreading and sharing here with Gaia in this earth plane, as we are also here on the ascension process.
Yes.
So for each and every one of us on a soul level, it is up for us to know thyself. And when I say know thyself, it is up to us to learn about our individual being and why we are specifically who we are in our awareness, and why we have these specific avatars, why we have these specific signatures that make up our attributes of why we are in these vessels, specifically here in this earth at this time. And as we continue to become more aware and more aware of who it is that we are divinely and uniquely are in our blueprint, in our DNA, and begin to nurture that, activate it, and balance it, the more we will be able to experience and embody and be able to spread and attract similar energies and similar purpose energies as well. With that being said, I know a lot of us are probably going through some hard times. I know a lot of us are probably going through a lot of purging, a lot of letting go, releasing of relationships, releasing of communities, releasing of behaviors. And you may feel a little foreign. You may feel a little lost with your identity. And I just want to let you know that it is okay to feel that way. It is absolutely 100% okay to feel that way, especially during these times right now, as we are going through major shifting when it comes to our beings and the awareness that we have when it comes to ourself and the relationship that we have with this world, and not just this world, but this whole cosmic order. And there's more going on than just this physical plane and the things that are going on in this physical world, such as government, politics, the systems, the medical care, all these different things. Keep in mind, there are things going on a universal cosmic level. There are things going on planetary levels. And this is why we're being reminded that we are here for a divine purpose. We are not here by coincidence. We're not here by mistake. We're not here because we are just popped up here out of nowhere. There is a reason to each one of our individual soul paths that have led us to being here on this plane. And that is for each of us to figure out in our own way, authentically, why we are here in these individual signatures and what it is that we are to deliver, whether it's dismantling, co-creating, healing, educating, or other reasons. It's completely up to us to figure out. How do you figure this out? Different practices such as meditation, yoga, continuing to clear your energy centers, continuing to study yourself when it comes to your behaviors, your emotions, your tendencies. The more that you study yourself, the more that you spend time with yourself, you will be able to uncover more and more about who you are and why you are here and your purpose here. So that is our spiritual oracle message today from High Priestess Nato. Just giving us that nice, gentle reminder that we are here for a purpose, even through the struggles, even through the pain, even through the hard times. And remember, we are capable of withstanding what we are moving through, or else we would not have it on our plate. And the more that you can accept what you're moving through as is what it is, then we're able to start thinking more outside the box, start allowing solutions to flow through us. But acceptance is huge. If we don't accept and come to the what is standpoint in our present reality, then we're going to find ourselves struggling with one leg in the past, one leg in the future, instead of being present and taking advantage of the blessings and the opportunities that we have right in front of us and within us. Back to you.
Thank you. Everybody just take a moment, take a breath in. Release. Yes. Yes, and yes. We are here on purpose with a purpose. There are so many infinite ways for you to tap in to the knowledge of who you are, unique and authentic, and just know that you are an infinite possibility. That excites me. That I'm an infinite possibility, that there's more to me than meets these two eyes, right? And the fact that he pulled this card about us getting to know ourselves and what our purpose is here for Earth consciousness, right now at this time, not only in this dimension, not only in 3D, not only in this polarity pull that we're having. It's a pull. It's a pull. It's a yin yang pull. It's a balance. It's very purposeful, right? Question. Hold on. Sorry, my phone rang. Hey, ding, ding, ding. Okay, ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. All right. So the questioner asks Ra, what density level is Ra? Ra says, I am Ra. I am 6th density with a strong seeking towards 7th density. This is at the time that Ra was channeling. Ra's probably moved on, expanded a little bit more. But guess what? The divine, when I read that, the divine says the entity, the higher being that was Ra at that time, gets a chance to move on. It gets a chance to move up the polarity density. And what do we mean by polarity density? Remember, Ra said there's, hold on. I'm sorry. I think my daughter doesn't remember that I have a podcast at this time, so, but anyway, so there are 7 densities. There are more, but Ra deals with those 7, right? First density is just pure beingness and pure existence. That's when Earth was at her most, what do we want to call it? The primordial, the ooze of everything being created, right? Second density was growth and environment. Everything was growing, expanding. The third density, and everything was growing, expanding, and animals were becoming aware of themselves. Higher beings were expressing as animals, the deer and the grasshopper, right? Third density was, it became self-aware. We started to exist, right? Fourth density is other selves, right? We started to learn about love. We started to tap into our heart space, right? The fifth density is the merging of mind and spirit, wisdom. The sixth density is unity. It's universal. Everything is and is not. It's all one, right? And the seventh density is being absorbed back to the creator. Our higher beings get to tap into this. The reason why this is being brought up is a lot of people can't understand why I do the things I do and why I keep living this life that I'm living and over again, and things are so messed up. And then somebody tells you, well, you brought it on yourself, or you created this before you came into this existence. Well, our higher being, according to Ra, we came here to seek a polarity of positive, which is the service to self, knowing that all our needs are already met, or a service to self and using others to get there. Nothing matters but us. It's a negative polarity. But our higher beings get to tap into it and see what it's all about. That's why it came here. And that's why it chose your specific body for the task at hand. But see, the fun part is that the divine said, I want this to be a story, a beginning, end, a beginning, middle, and end. And the only way I know to do that is to give the story free will. That's us. Guess what? We're the story. We're the beginning, middle, and end. Those are the densities. That's why we're in a third density polarity. And the questioner asked Ra, why is it taking so long? Ra at one point said, we can't go over your free will. We can't stop it. The story continues. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. You are, Ra says, he says, I am a sixth density with a strong seeking towards seventh density. He seeks to move towards seventh density. He seeks itself expanding and shifting. He doesn't deny it. He seeks it. He doesn't resist it. He seeks it. He's a complex. That's what we eventually will evolve and grow to and expand to. But guess what? If you don't, the divine is not going to judge you that you did something wrong, that you sinned, or that you just couldn't get it, and that you have to go back and redo it. That's not the game. Sit at the seat of your soul and find out what your soul or your spirit or your higher being, whatever you choose to call it, what did it come to seek through you as your beingness? And how can you perform what you need to perform to help your soul out? What is it seeking? What gift can you give it in the creation of the story? You're the gift giver. You create the story for your higher being in what it's seeking. Is it seeking lack? Well, did you grow up poor? Right? And now you're seeking to better yourself. So now you're trying to move out of being poor, and you're trying to think and grow rich. You're reading the book, Think and Grow Rich. Well, sit at the seat of your soul with that book and say, can we not be in lack anymore? And I can say this. I guarantee your higher being will say yes and open up that vibrational movement for you to step into the unknown, to make abundance known to you. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to be a cakewalk. But I'm saying if you and your higher being merge and then bring online your conscious mind and your unconscious mind and have your ego sit back for a while and get retrained, you're working in what is called growth and expansion. You're moving into that vibrational intention of shifting, which is what Ra says. I am a sixth density with a strong seeking towards seventh density. Strong seeking. What's another word for that? Intention. I intend to move to seventh density. What do you intend to do with the gifts that you've got? It's a gift, your higher being. It's a gift, your body, your form body. It's a gift, your conscious mind. What do you intend to do with it? And then when you decide what you've intended to do with it, how are you going to embody it in your action? Right? He also says the harvest for us will, and he considers himself a seventh or a sixth density, which is called us. In the beginning of this book, his planet that he was on all merged because they were all on one accord. They all became one. And they became the law of one. I am Ra. I am sixth density. The harvest for us will be in only one approximately 1 or 2.5 million years. Of course, he breaks it down for humanity, but it didn't take that long. He says, and it is our desire to be ready for harvest as it approaches in our space-time continuum. Theirs, not ours. He's channeling, but he ain't on the earth channeling. He's channeling through someone because he can't come back. He doesn't want to come back and step foot on this planet again. He did it once. They did it once. And we weren't ready. We misused and we abused the information. And we hoarded it. But he so loved Earth consciousness that he came again, and they came again and they figured out how to talk to us. Back to you, Marcus.
Oh gosh, perfect place to leave off. Like, wow. And this is where, oh boy, okay. Wow. Now I know the exact moment of why I received the download that I did back in 2019 about the path of these different figures, these different ascended masters and other figures that have came into this plane. And with that being said, you look at the timeline of our human history here on Earth, and you can see that 4 periods back in, let's use the example of Kemet or Egypt. You look at the pre-dynastic, the early stages of the ancient Egyptian civilization, and you see that a lot of the human beings, the pharaohs and everybody else, they were living in a beautiful harmony, not just with their own self, but with our galactic ancestors as well. And with that being said, that's why you see in many different hieroglyphics and carvings in the pyramids and in the other spaces in Egypt, these representations of these humanoid extraterrestrial-like beings being depicted standing with the humans of Egypt at that time. You see, like, the lion-headed goddess Sekhmet. You see Horus, Ra, Thoth, a bunch of different beings, Anubis. So during that period, and I say we because we're all connected in some type of way through our human DNA to Egypt in that period. And we were living in a space where we were more harmonized, where we were more clear and more in tune with our intuitive nature and our connection with spirit. So with that being said, our vibration level as a collective was more open and more expanded to where these higher dimensional realms could be more present in this field due to that. So as time went on, if you read in the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead, or the Book of Coming Forth by Day, which is basically like the Bible of Egypt before the Christian Bible, and similar stories as well. You can see that a lot of the Bible stories are basically different translations or a different period of time of the same patterns, the same archetypes. Horus represents Jesus, so on and so forth. You can see that as time went on, corruption started taking place on this planet. And when the corruption came, there was a lot of substance abuse, intoxication of alcohol. There was a lot of misuse of power. And as time went on, you started to see that in the later days, in the later periods of Egypt, the pharaoh became corrupted. And you could see that the pharaoh was trying to have its own power over everybody else, as well as force everybody out of a free will spirituality and religion into something that is more dogmatic. And through all this became the downfall of Egypt, so to say. And then through this downfall is when you started seeing different figures coming into place here on the planet, such as Moses. That's one of them. And then Jesus came, and many more.
Anymore.
So, long story short is we were given the knowledge. Higher dimensional beings even came down and taught us here on this plane. Through the corruption, they had to go back to their dimensions due to the vibration field here. And this is why now they just channel through different vessels the information so they don't have to come into these planes. And as we went along, the corruption just continued to manifest and grow, and the darkness kind of took over. So we became very ignorant as a society in this human nature. So then we have figures come down into this plane and incarnate, such as Yeshua, Jesus. And then Yeshua, Jesus came to be basically a in the flesh messenger of what you can kind of say is like Ra in a way, giving the truth, giving balance, giving knowledge of self. And through that sacrifice, quote unquote, on a soul level of coming into this human life, we were able to be brought wisdom and knowledge on a high level. And pretty much Jesus, Yeshua, was paving way for us starseeds now and other extraplanetary beings that have come here into this incarnation from other places to be able to follow a similar footpath and be able to not just also follow the teachings, but also pick up where he left off and continue to expand and explore. Just as he says, you know, anything that I can do, you can do, and more. So we're here to do what he's done, plus more in our own unique ways. And as we see now, many of us, Christ-like figures, have came to this planet and are continuing to be birthed into this realm. And the more of us that have continued to come, we've been holding spaces all around the planetary grid in specific places that we came here to be at, to help spread the light and anchor it in different points. And now you can see that we're starting to get the wheels turning in the collective. More people are waking up. More people are becoming open to change. More people are looking for alternatives. And it's just going to continue to happen as we continue to do more of the self work and embody this beautiful unified consciousness together. And I know Instagram stopped on our part 1. So we're going to go ahead and take a moment to get part 2.
At this point, unfortunately, I have some family that I have to deal with. Okay. I can't do a part 2. I wish I could. Oh man, I wish I could. Man, I wish we could do a part 2 tonight. I really do, you know. But
I mean, we could.
Okay, maybe we can. So, what is you know what?
We can do a late night vibe.
Oh, okay. If you want, we can do that. I can move up my star meditations up earlier, and we could do one like 5:30 and 5:30. What is 5:30? Is 8:30 your time? You want to bring it back on? Let me know. Let's talk about it.
Well, if we do it, it'd have to be like later over here, because I'll be delivering until about 10 o'clock. But
okay. So
I would be willing to do a late night one.
Oh, okay. So let's see. 10 o'clock would be 7 my time. So then we can do what, 8:30, 9? When you get home, let me know. We can go on. I think everybody would just enjoy us just showing up. They'd be ready.
Definitely.
All right.
And then the people in the late night can catch us.
Yeah. I'd love to do that. And we can just pause it right here. That way the people on Instagram don't miss that much. And then stay tuned for tonight. I'd love it. definitely. So when you get
That's
back
right.
and you get ready, I mean, you get, you know, I'm ready. Okay. All
Sounds
right.
good.
Sounds good.
So yeah,
All right.
everybody, we will pick up on this where we left off for part 2 of this episode tonight. It'll be probably around maybe like 10:45, 11 p.m. Eastern, which is around 8 on the Pacific time. And we will pick up where we left off. Thank you to all of you guys for being patient with the process, being here, showing up, and enjoying this journey with us.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Everyone, there is the cosmic universal world of energy that flows within you. Sit at the seat of your soul or your higher being or your spirit, whatever you call it. Ask an embodying question, and then allow yourself to go on a journey. Sometimes the unknown just needs for you to make it known. For life to let you see the infinite possibilities, and then you get to make all your choices. One size just does not fit all. Are you ready? I know I am. All right. I love you, Marcus. I will see you later on this evening. Thank you, host, or the hostess with the mostest. Thank y'all.
Oh man, thank you to you as well. I love to you, and you know, it wouldn't be a hosting if there wasn't a co-host such as yourself. So thank you for the equal hosting that you bring.
You are very welcome. I love you all, and I will see you later on tonight. Take care.
Wholeness and balanced love, everybody.